Impressive, Tom. It sounds like a well-coordinated effort with a diverse group of partners. Moving forward, could you walk us through the different phases of the AVS testnet and the key milestones you're aiming to achieve in each phase?
Yeah, so for testnet 0.1, which has already wrapped and was our kickoff, what we were testing was implementation of the eigenlayer middleware and the extension to that middleware that we worked with AltLayer to build. Also to test out onboarding of providers to the AVS in general, as well as onboarding to their operator sets and going through a mocked qualification process. We completed all that. We learned a lot about how the user experience was of being able to onboard to the AVS and then to the operator sets. And so there's a balance that comes out of that of trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, but also having the AVS operators who are onboarding understand the steps that they're taking in the onboarding process, essentially what they're signing when they're, sending ETH, in this case, testnet ETH, or in a future, in testnet 0.2, there's going to be, staked ETH. They need to know, like, where are they sending that? What address are they interacting with? What function are they calling? So the outputs of that was really understanding the user experience in the flows. In testnet 0.2, it's to refine those flows and also to test out all the slashing conditions and like onboarding, offboarding edge cases. So in the event that an operator set has no more participants in it, being able to keep it available, but also to not return any responses if that is like queried because there's no provider back there. So sort of having those right edge cases mapped out and testing them that they're operating as we thought. When we go into testnet 0.3, that is going to be a full simulation of what mainnet would be. So in that case, we're testing every part of the system, but in a way that should be an exact one-to-one of the modeling that we would see. And then we'd be able to simulate how rewards would go out and basically do all the sort of statistics and reporting based off of that, because it would be based off of how DIN is working right now in terms of serving traffic. So we have, we're going to wrap testnet 0.2 as we come to the end of the month of May. And then testnet 0.3 will, we've already started work for preparations on that because we're really aiming to have that in full flow by mid-June. So there's some onboarding processes and things that will happen over the first half of June. We want that to run through June. In July, we have some buffer time in order to be able to continue to, if we need to, run scenarios. And there's a possibility that with that third testnet, that might be a longer persisting testnet because that would allow us to continue to test out any potential changes to software upgrades in an environment that allows us to have confidence before we make any changes to a mainnet deployment. So that, going through those phases, we started on this at the beginning of the year with prepping for testnet 0.1, and we ran 0.1 from the tail end of February through March, and then we used April to sort of take that information, make changes, get feedback from partners, really think about that experience and roll it into what's becoming the next phases of 0.2, which is ongoing, and then 0.3, which will fast follow after that.